I was 3 months into a salvage contract at the edge of the Perseus Drift when the Queen's ship fell out of the sky. That alone should tell you how strange the day was already going. The Iridax Ascendant, though I didn't know its name yet, didn't explode or burn like most things that lose a fight with gravity. Screamed. Not audibly, but through my instruments, a harmonic cascade that made my jury-rigged sensors vibrate like tuning forks. The vessel emerged from a failed jump, hull cracked open like a split seed, shedding violet light and ionized gas as it tumbled toward the dust-ringed moon below. I was a human engineer, a fixer by trade. Not a soldier, not a diplomat, just someone who made dead things work again. My ship, Patchwork, was ugly, underarmed, and full of spare parts that didn't belong together. It was also the only thing within 5 light hours that could reach the crash site before the moon's corrosive atmosphere finished the job. I didn't know there was royalty aboard. I just saw a broken ship and went. The wreck lay half buried in crystalline dust, its hull grown rather than forged, latticed with organic curves that pulsed weakly like a dying heartbeat. The air around it shimmered with failing shields. When I breached the outer membrane, the inside smelled of ozone and something floral, almost sweet. That's when I met her. She stood alone in the command chamber, tall and luminous, her skin a soft opalescent silver threaded with bioluminescent veins. Her crown wasn't metal but living crystal, fused to her brow. She regarded me with wide, faceted eyes that reflected my helmet lights into 1,000 fractured stars. "I am Queen Osherin of the Elindri Concord," she said, her voice resonant and layered, like several people speaking in perfect harmony. "Are you here to witness our end?" I blinked, then did what humans do best in absurd situations. "No, ma'am," I said. "I'm here to fix your ship." The middle of the story is where things usually go wrong. This one went wrong in the best possible way. The Iridax Ascendant wasn't built like anything I'd ever worked on. Its systems were semi-biological, grown around quantum cores that responded to neural patterns rather than switches. The Elindri engineers who survived the crash were injured or unconscious, and none of them could interface properly. The ship was rejecting them, locked in a kind of technological grief. Queen Osherin was the only one it would respond to, but every attempt she made nearly killed her. The jump core feedback was burning out her nervous system. So I did what humans always do when faced with technology that shouldn't work. Cheated. I stripped my ship down to components, cannibalized power regulators, and built a translator lattice that converted the Queen's bioneural signals into something the jump core could tolerate. It wasn't elegant. It was held together by magnetic clamps, carbon fiber tape, and stubborn optimism. I wired it through my own neural interface, letting the ship read me as a buffer. When the core flared, it hit my brain first. Pain like white fire tore through my skull. My vision went black at the edges. I tasted copper and ozone. But the feedback dropped, stabilized, flowed cleanly into the patched conduit. The ship hummed. Queen Osherin staggered, then caught herself against a console. I reached out on instinct, grabbing her hand to steady her. She didn't pull away. Her grip tightened, fingers long and warm, bioluminescence flaring brighter where our skin met. Through the neural link, I felt her emotions, shock, relief, disbelief, crashing into me like waves. "You are burning," she said softly. "Why do you not disconnect?" I gritted my teeth and kept my hands steady on the controls. "Because it's working," I said. "And because I can take it." That's the thing about humans. We evolved on a planet that tries to kill us every day. Pain is just another problem to solve. For 6 hours we worked like that. Me balancing on the edge of unconsciousness, jury-rigging miracles out of scrap. Her standing beside me, refusing to let go, channeling her will through the ship while anchoring herself through my hand. When the jump core finally stabilized, the Iridax Ascendant sang, not a scream this time, but a low, triumphant chord that resonated through the moon's crust. The Elindri lived. The ending came quietly. In orbit, with the ship fully repaired and her people safe, Queen Oshiran summoned me to the observation spire. Stars drifted past the living glass, distant and cold. "You saved not only my vessel," she said, still holding my hand, "but my Concord. Our jump technology is the backbone of our civilization. Without it, we would have fractured. Fallen." I shrugged, suddenly self-conscious. "Just did my job." She turned to face me fully. Up close, her eyes were impossibly deep. "Among my people," she said, "to take the hand of another during the sharing is to bind your fate to theirs. It is an act of trust beyond words." I tried to gently pull away. She wouldn't let go. "You endured our pain without flinching," she continued. "You solved what our greatest minds could not, with tools you admit were insufficient. You are human." There was no question in her voice, only wonder. "Yeah," I said quietly. "We are." When the Iridax Ascendant departed, I watched from the battered deck of the Patchwork, my hand still tingling where she had held it. A data packet chimed into my console. Coordinates, contracts, and a personal message. "If ever you are broken," it read, "the Concord will come." Out in the dark, my ugly little ship hummed, patched together and stubborn as ever. And for the first time, the stars felt like they were holding our hand and not letting go. The Iridax Ascendant slipped into hyperspace in a bloom of violet light, leaving silence behind. I stood there longer than I needed to, fingers curled around empty air, half expecting to still feel her hand in mine. My ship's alarms buzzed softly, systems complaining as they always did, but for once I let them wait. The stars looked different after that day. Not closer, not friendlier, just aware. 3 weeks later the message arrived. Not a contract, not a request. Summons. The Elindri Concord had released the full technical archive of the Ascendant repair, credited not to their engineers, but to human methodology, improvisation, pain tolerance, cross-system intuition. Across known space, species that had dismissed humans as short-lived, soft-bodied generalists began quietly revising their threat assessments. Not because we were violent, because we refused to quit. Queen Oshiran never appeared publicly again without her living crown dimmed to a softer hue. Elindri historians would later say it marked the moment their people accepted something new into their identity. Reliance on another species. Trust earned, not inherited. As for me, I went back to salvage. But now, when a ship failed at the edge of nowhere, someone always knew my name. And once, only once, I felt that familiar harmonic ripple through my instruments. A ship passing nearby, impossibly elegant, its signal tuned to mine for just a heartbeat longer than necessary. I smiled and placed my hand against the console. Out there among the stars, a queen remembered the human who refused to let go. And if the universe ever broke her again, be there.